And you said when you heard the N word, was it a term of endearment N word or was it the ER?
No, it was the ER. And I wouldn't have even known that was a bad word other than the way it was used. You know, I'm in 6th grade, I'm sitting on the back of the bus. I still remember it to this day. There's 2 brothers that were bullies. I'm in 6th grade, I'm scrawny, bro, little guy. In 7th and 8th grade. And they came up and they were like, move out my seat. And so I didn't understand, but I was like, that's not cool. Like, whatever you just called me.
Right.
So then that's when I went home and asked my mom.
Kane Brown recently opened up about a childhood moment that completely changed how he understood himself and his family history. For a lot of people, Kane Brown is known as one of the biggest names in country music. He has built a massive fan base, crossed over into pop, collaborated with major artists, and become one of the most recognizable faces in the genre. But behind all of that success is a story about identity, family, and learning painful truths at a young age. Kane has shared that he grew up in an all-white family and did not really know his biological father. As a kid, he did not fully understand that he was biracial. He was light-skinned, played baseball, spent time outside, and thought his skin got darker because of the sun. To him, that was all it was. He was just a kid trying to make sense of the world around him with the information he had. But everything changed when he was in the 6th grade. Kane says he was riding the school bus when 2 bullies called him a deeply offensive racial slur. At that point in his life, he did not even know what the word meant. That is what makes the story hit even harder. Imagine being called something hateful before you even understand why someone would look at you differently. He went home and asked his mother what the word meant. That was when she had to sit him down and explain that he was part black. That conversation was probably a major turning point for him. Not only was he learning about race and how some people might judge him, but he was also learning something important about his own identity and his biological father. That is a lot for any child to process, especially when it comes through a painful experience with bullying. Stories like Kane Brown's show how complicated identity can be, especially for children who may not have all the answers about their family background. Sometimes people grow up feeling different without fully understanding why. Then, one moment, one question, or one cruel comment can force them to confront something much bigger than they were ready for. What also makes Kane's story stand out is where he ended up. Country music has traditionally been seen as a genre where black artists and biracial artists have often had to work harder to be accepted and recognized. Kane Brown did not just enter the country music world, he became one of its biggest modern stars. He has shown that country music can be more inclusive than some people may have believed in the past. His success has opened doors, started conversations, and helped a lot of fans see themselves in country music in a different way. At the same time, his story is not just about race or music. It is also about resilience. Kane took a painful childhood memory and turned it into part of a bigger story about who he is. Instead of letting those early experiences define him in a negative way, he kept moving forward and built a career that nobody can deny. It is also a reminder that words matter. Kids can repeat hateful things without understanding the damage they cause, but the person hearing those words may carry that moment with them for years. Bullying can shape how someone sees themselves, their family, and the world around them. Kane Brown's honesty about that moment gives people a chance to understand a side of him that goes beyond the music. Fans may see the superstar on stage, the hit songs, the awards, and the success. But behind that is a person who had to learn difficult things about himself while growing up, just like many people do in different ways. And maybe that is why his story connects with so many people. It is real, it is uncomfortable, it is emotional, but it also shows growth, strength, and the power of owning your story. Thank you for watching Short Clips Podcast. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more celebrity news and trending stories.